he said, I can't do anything about it. And he wasn't being a jerk. He couldn't do anything about it. Like,
they have to
they
scan
have
your,
to
they
scan
have to
it to
scan your
even
license.
let it out of the store. And I got out of that store and I screamed, fuck, 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 all the way to my car. Got in the car. I was yelling at the car. I was yelling at everybody in the parking lot. I got out. I got onto the road. I drove badly. Like, I was pissed. And just picked up the phone and called you. And I'm like,
Yes.
I just need to vent. I don't have my goddamn wallet. And I came all the way out here and as if this were the worst thing to happen to anybody in the world. It was ridiculous.
I have looked every.
And welcome back to She Said, She Said.
Yes.
I threw you off there. I didn't do
You
my
did.
normal line.
You're like, I used to, hey, and I'm Pam Pryor, author, speaker, CFO, and I balance the books.
And I'm Deb Reinhard, certified master life coach, and I balance Pam. There you go. We got it covered one way or another. So
every week we spend some time just diving into the chaos that is our life, our
Clearly.
business, and just, kind of giving you a lens onto the crazy, beautiful, all of it.
I think one thing, I just remembered this as you said it, because we talk about the fact that we've been together 33 years.
Yeah.
We actually had an anniversary this week of when we first met. It was September 25th. But neither one of us are exactly sure whether it's 33 or 34 years. Now,
I know, isn't that weird?
You think that you knew me on my 30th birthday.
I want to say 91. I did, because we ordered the birthday pig.
You did, or did you hear about it and
no,
you've now implanted that as a memory?
I have pictures of the birthday pig.
Okay, because I thought it was 92 that we met.
91.
But we know we met in September.
Yeah.
So if it's 92, it doesn't work because my birthday is in March.
Yeah.
So it must have been our 34th anniversary.
Yeah.
And yes, this happens when you get up that far, I guess. But we also, ironically, it is our 9th actual wedding anniversary this year.
In May.
In May.
Yeah.
So next year it's going to be 10 and 35.
I know. Won't
which
that
is
be
kind
awesome?
of fun. So that struck me. So life kind of turned back to normal this week for us. You're home, safe and sound. Again, no post-surgery pain.
No.
And what did you decide to do on Monday, which was, let's just do a little reminder that was
a week,
4 days after she was released from the hospital?
It was a week after the surgery. So my best friend Sean had...
Here's Sean. We can show you Sean.
Yeah, we'll show you Sean. My best friend Sean had invited us to go see...
Thank you.
Oh,
it was
the
bugging
lights
me. It's
aren't
like,
even on.
It was bugging me too.
Hold on, we got to turn on the lights now.
Okay. There we go.
Cool. So my best friend Sean had bought tickets for us to go up to New York City to 54 Below and to see Cheyenne Jackson at a cabaret. And so
Cheyenne is a man.
Yes.
That is not a name I associate with.
Amazing,
You sent me a clip.
Singer.
He was incredible. Broadway singer, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
A nice belter, and you sent me a clip. It blew me away.
Yeah. He's
probably illegal that you filmed it while
phenomenal.
you were...
There were other people doing it.
Okay, good.
I was not alone.
But
and I'm not doing I didn't post it anywhere.
No,
so
you
it
sent it
matter.
to me.
Right. Yeah.
He was really good.
Fabulous. He was fabulous. So we took the train up. So that was really nice. Train out of Hamilton Station. Piece of cake.
NJ Transit.
Piece of cake getting into the city.
Big walk through.
We walked. It was 20 blocks, which is 1.1 miles. So it was not terrible.
Let me circle back here. One of the promises Deb made me before she left was that they would Uber, because I said, you're really going to wear yourself out. You haven't done anything since that surgery, really, a little bit each day, but not a lot. You can't walk a mile each way, be up late for the first time in however many days it's been or weeks it's been, and get home and then still survive.
You were wrong. What I did.
Well, yes and no. I'm wrong. The good thing was, like, you don't have to like work full days right now, but you came back and basically...
I was tired the next day.
2 days.
The next day. Day and a half.
What did you say to me yesterday?
Day and a half.
Quote unquote.
Day and a half. All right. I might have overdone it. But
thank you.
It was easy to admit. It was worth every.
It does sound like it.
It was fabulous.
It does.
He was a great show. He's a great storyteller. so nuanced in his singing,
Yeah, on the
which
clip you
was
sent
really
me,
fabulous.
I'm a little jealous I ended up not going. Sean
Yeah,
did invite both of us. I had a little bit of work to do.
yeah,
So and stayed with the doggies, but that was awesome.
it
I'd have
was
just been
great.
fussing the whole time at you for being there
Yeah,
and doing a mile walk,
but the
so it's
food
just
was
as
great. The
well.
food was good.
It looked like steak.
Highly
Was it
recommend
steak?
it. I had tuna.
Oh, it was tuna.
There was steak. The other person that shared our table had steak frites.
Cool.
Was
So
looked
54
very good.
below is Studio 54, but
What?
downstairs?
Yes, it's the basement.
Okay.
And it's really not fair to call it a basement because it's really a lovely
A
venue, and
beautiful
there is
venue.
not a bad seat in that house. Um,
Does it make like a U?
that's
I
really
think it
interesting that
may
you
be
say that.
where I saw Linda Eder
It is where
100
you saw.
years
I'm
ago.
sure it is where you
Okay.
saw Linda because Linda is actually going to be there again.
Okay, then it's probably like the
Yeah.
piano's kind of in the middle, and then
Yes,
there's
in
this
the back, and then
weird.
there are tables in the
It's
front.
not like normal layout. It's like
I
shifted.
I don't know that it feels kind of normal, but you're not kind of. It's wide instead of being
Yes.
narrow.
Yeah.
It's wide.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was really, really good, and I'm
That's so
so glad I
cool.
went. And yes, I walked. Um, I wasn't tired,
Hmm.
and honestly, in New York City versus getting a cab,
It would have
it
taken
was
longer,
so yeah.
yes, but you would have been rested more.
But 20 it was 20 short blocks, and it was really nice. And we took and we strolled. We did stroll.
We'll have to poll other people
Ask
think
Uncle Sean.
you went too
Ask
quickly,
Sean. He
you
held my
walked two
hand. We
miles too
walked
quickly, or
slowly
not.
through the city.
But let's circle back here. You
Okay.
said a little couple words and then moved right by. Linda Eder's going to be there.
Yeah.
Linda
Yeah.
Eder is my, what do we call it? A loud crush,
That's
like
your
my.
I know that's
What do we call it? My hall
yeah,
pass.
that's her
Yeah.
hall
So I've
pass.
had a crush on Linda Eder since Lindsay was
Little.
1 or 2. Her son was about the same age at that point. She's a Broadway singer, did Jekyll and Hyde, and then I've probably been to as many
You've been
of
to a
her shows
lot of
as Billy Joel
shows. You've
shows
been
when
to
I
a lot
was
of shows.
younger. And she's going to be there?
Yeah.
Oh, when?
We can look at tickets.
Hmm,
We
interesting.
can look at tickets.
We may have to do that. We do love Linda.
We do.
She's really good. If you get a chance to look her up, if you like that kind of singing, she's really good.
Yeah, she's a good show too.
Yeah, she
These-
came out on one of those early Star Search was where they found
yeah.
her.
I also think like the last time we saw her at a cabaret up in New Hope.
Yeah, and we had seen her, to be fair, at a concert a couple years
At the
before.
Man.
No, it was
We
in
know,
New
yeah,
Jersey.
we saw her. Yeah, we saw her at New Jersey in Marlton, but we saw her. Remember, we saw her at the
The Man
Man
was right after 9/11.
right after
Yeah,
9/11.
that was
That
an
was
incredible
oh my
concert.
gosh.
She clearly ended the first half of that concert way earlier than she meant to because she sang the Barbra Streisand song. Yeah. The big.
Don't Rain on My Parade.
Yes. And she clearly was upset at the end of that song and marched off the stage and came back into the second half. I don't think that was where she was going to
Oh, I
break
don't know.
normally because she was really, it was 4 days after 9/11
It was really
and she was,
it was
had
such a
contemplated,
tough
it was with,
thing.
when he was still alive, piano guy, composer, we're
When
going
he
to have
was
to put the
still
name here when we
alive?
get it. Yeah. You'll know it. It'll come to you.
Okay.
Really
Can't remember.
famous. She only did a couple concerts with him. And they contemplated canceling it,
Yeah.
but they didn't because she said, no, we're not going to let them do this to us. So it was a really
Was
emotional
it David
night.
Foster
No.
that played for her?
Mm-mm. It's
He's
Marvin
still
Hamlish.
alive.
Yeah. Marvin Hamlish.
It wasn't Marvin Hamlish
Yes, it
who
was.
played.
Yes, it was. At
Really?
that concert, it was Marvin. Yep. She did
Okay.
2 concerts with him,
Don't
and that
remember
was
that.
one of them.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. I do remember now.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is we saw her in New Jersey at the NJ Pack, and she was only okay. And we're like,
It's
oh,
just a day.
I
Maybe,
wonder,
everybody can have a day.
I wonder, and I've never, but all the times I've seen her, probably
Yeah.
15 or 20, she's never just been
Because we
okay.
saw her in Marlton.
I've seen
It
her a
wasn't
million
in
times.
Marlton, and we took Lindsay,
Yeah.
and Lindsay went
Went up on the stage with
with her.
flowers. Yep. We got a
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
But like in all the times I've seen her, she's never been just okay. And I
Yeah.
think something may have been wrong. But then we saw her in New Hope. She blew it away.
Yeah.
She was
And that was
awesome.
it was a smaller, more intimate venue.
Mhm.
I think that really probably suits.
Is her thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on Linda Eder, but I'm
I don't either.
glad. Hi, Linda. One of the
Um,
things, you can take voice lessons with her now?
I did.
I should get you that for a birthday present.
There you go.
All
What a
right.
throw.
You should get that for yourself for your
You
birthday
already have a,
present.
I can't sing, but you already have a voice teacher who's perfect for you. So,
I'm a kick-ass voice teacher.
yep.
Shout
Shout out.
out to Becky Ohlers, South Jersey Voice Studio.
Yep.
She's the best.
We don't need any other.
Okay.
We have a lot of best voice
We have
teachers,
so
though,
many
that we
best
know.
voice teachers.
She just happens to be the one you use.
Becky is my I don't know, she's been really great.
She's changed. Yeah, you guys
She's
have
really
changed how you
she's
sing.
changed
Yeah,
a lot
from a
for me.
choral singer to a belter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that, yep, I sing, I can read, I can hold the tune nicely. I have an okay voice, but it's a choir voice. You don't want me doing solo work.
Yeah.
That's kind of my take on it.
There's
Awesome.
argument on Deb's side there.
Yeah. Well, I am glad that you didn't
Yeah.
listen, but that
I
you
am
had
too.
2 days to recuperate
It's been nice.
properly,
Yes.
because you don't go running off and walking 2 miles right after you've had surgery. It's the danger of a high pain tolerance and a stubbornness.
Stubborn streak.
Yes.
It just felt good to walk. To be honest with you, I felt so
To
cooped up.
walk half a mile at home.
So I walked a mile.
So I love it. Well, you're safe and sound,
Yeah.
and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool.
What else this week?
What else is? Oh, I know this week. I had a massive temper tantrum on Tuesday. Massive. So I really am the person with a really long, like, I don't blow up a lot.
No, typically you don't.
I like take a lot. I just, I used to when I was younger.
You had a temper as a kid?
I had not kid, and not as a kid, but like even in my 20s and 30s, like I didn't pay really attention. If I was upset, I got mad. If I was happy, I laughed. If I was sad, I
So
cried.
you had a low emotional intelligence.
That's what I would call it.
Yeah.
Yes, when I was really kind of just all over the place
Yeah.
with it. And then as I've gotten older, and certainly in the last 5 years, I've done a lot of meditation, a lot of spiritual work, a lot of other work, and just actually do change my energy whenever I feel like the inklings of something. I can
Yeah.
go,
You
oh,
usually catch it
that's
quick.
the thing. Back it goes. And, gratitude or happiness or whatever the thing is that I use to do that. And this day, it had been a pretty stressful week. There was a lot of work to do that, like, I felt like I couldn't get it all done in the time.
Not only do you feel like you couldn't get it all done in the time, I think there's a lot of pressure. I'm seeing a lot of pressure on you being like I'm the only one who can do this.
Yeah, there's a lot of that right
yeah,
now.
Right now.
Right now, there's a lot of that. And so, I'm sure that's building pressure, although it doesn't feel like it, but I had a couple late nights, and I wasn't in my mindset, whereas I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, usually that's where I am. And if people love it, that's great. If people don't, that's sad. It's always good work. It's always 100% of the attention. We're always giving value. And for the people it works for, that's great.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there this week. This week I was like,
No.
I got to get it done. I got to get it done. And so on Tuesday night, I had a prescription to pick up, and I went out, and I had, because of the hospital thing, I
Yep.
didn't know where my wallet was.
My fault. Mhm.
Exactly. I didn't know where my wallet was because I'd been taking it in the
In and
knapsack or
out.
the
Yeah.
book bag. What do we call those things?
Backpack.
Backpack. To the hospital all the time. And when we came home from the hospital, I did not take it from the backpack and put it back in my purse. So I had like this window of like 15 minutes to go get my drugs. And I get in the car and I go and realize, oh, I don't have my wallet. So I come back in, can't find my wallet. I'm like, okay, I'll just go. So I go.
Oh no, it wasn't
there.
just.
No, wait, no,
it
no,
wasn't
wait, no,
just
first
at
time.
that point.
At
No,
first
the
time
first
it
time
was.
you were already starting to edge up.
Nope.
Yeah,
You're forgetting. At that time you were on the
Okay.
phone. There was nothing.
Okay.
So I go. I have to do a couple errands, and I get to Rite Aid, and I pull in, and I get there, and the line is like half an hour long.
Because you were getting your COVID shot and your flu shot at the same time.
But that was at CVS. Then I went
okay.
to Rite Aid to pick up the
Gotcha.
prescription. CVS was fine, no line, blah, blah, blah.
Excellent.
Rite Aid, line backed up. And this just goes to our conversation about pharmacists right now. They're so overworked.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend Ina last night, who's a pharmacist. She does coaching and functional medicine. And she said they're just, all really burnt out because people aren't hiring. The salaries aren't enough, and they can't, like any other job, you can just say, screw it, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't. Like
No.
people's.
And they're doing, and I think they're being asked to do a lot more now.
Oh, yeah.
So
with a lot less.
because now they have to do the shots.
There
I mean,
used to be
they
3
they used to just sit in the
pharmacists.
back and count pills into things.
There
I
used
mean,
to
it
be
was
3 pharmacists there every
sorry, I
time.
don't know. It's probably more than just counting pills into things, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, but you have to really carefully count
Yeah,
pills,
you
and
do.
you have to unlock them, and you have to lock them back up, and you have to make sure you don't get your kid's antibiotic mixed up with somebody's narcotic.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah.
huge pressure. And anyway, long line because there's only one pharmacist there now and one guy working the front counter. So I'm in line for half an hour, and I finally get up there. I'm like, okay, I'm here for such and such. And they're like, oh, we need to see your license
Yeah.
because it's
It's a
five
scheduled drug.
ants. Yeah. And I was like, I don't have it. I said, you know me? They go, he said, I can't do anything about it. And he wasn't being a jerk. He couldn't do anything about it. Like
Yeah, they have to
they
scan
have
your
to
they have
scan
to
it to
scan your
even let it
license.
out of the store. And I got out of that store and I screamed, fuck, 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 all the way to my car. Got in the car. I was yelling at the car. I was yelling at everybody in the parking lot. I got out. I got onto the road. I drove badly. Like I was pissed and just picked up the phone and called you. And I'm like,
Yes.
I just need to vent. I don't have my goddamn wallet. And I came all the way out here and as if this were the worst thing to happen to anybody in
Yeah.
the world. It
I
was
have
ridiculous.
looked everywhere. Can you just have you looked for my wallet? And I'm like, no, because
Nope.
you told me I didn't have it, but I'll get up and look for it
She found it.
in the backpack.
But I stormed all the way home. And I come in that door and I'm like, I need, I'm going to take your license because they said, well, I won't tell you what they said, but I was going to take your license. And she opens the door and hands me the wallet. I went, oh, where'd you find it? Thank you. And then I was madder, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's what you do.
Because you could have had it, and it
Because
could
that's
have all
what you
been
do.
done.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then I got in the car and I still drove like a maniac back there. It took longer than I thought.
I told you
So I
I would
had this
go.
ridiculous tantrum over literally nothing.
Yeah,
And then you get ashamed of yourself, right?
which you should have been.
Which I was. And then I came back, and interestingly enough, I'm in like a Bible study prayer group and called the Upper Room, and I jump in, and the first sort of person who's talking is talking about the fact that he lost his wife a year ago to cancer. And I went, perspective, Pamela,
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
And it was a really good and immediate switch off, which was great. And that gave me basically another tool I can use, though, too, which is when I have those stupid moments. And you know when you're going down those rabbit holes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When you're
yeah.
just railing about something and you're at the same time you're thinking, this is so stupid. All it's going to do is get worse. I'm going to make people
you just
angry.
escalated and escalated. It was
Yeah.
It's
But
very
you hit a
unusual to see
tipping
you like
point
that.
you can't. It's like, and I remember thinking, I could just do my breathing and calm back down. And literally in the car screamed out, fuck that. I am pissed and I'm going to be pissed. And what the heck is that?
Yeah.
Like if I had a
You were
camera on me and
fun.
I had to rewatch it, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah, you'd have been.
that's
I
bad.
think you'd have been shocked.
But now you have eruptions.
I do. Yeah, I think I am. I can be a little bit more of. I can be a little bit more volatile.
Hmm.
I don't.
But it's a release
It's
for you.
it is. It's like there and gone.
Hmm.
It's there and gone.
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at it.
I don't hold on to. I
Yeah.
really don't hold on to it. I can remember getting frustrated at a person at work who shall not be named, and like I don't even know what it was, but something made me angry about it, and I must have been frustrated about it. And like that, then like the next day, I was talking about this person in like nice terms, and I was like, "Hold it!" Like yesterday, yeah, like they were evil incarnate. I'm like, but why? Like I literally could not remember.
Forgot.
I literally could not
Hmm.
remember what
It's
was
like it expels it all
what
from
was
your
worth
head.
it for me. Yeah,
Except for the dogs.
the dogs are a whole different animal. I
Now,
mean,
how is that different? Like, so if the dogs like do something like dirty paws on the floor or barking or like you will have one of those, I can't take this anymore. I hate this.
I think you know what it is. There's like.
Because it's
Let me
constant.
be really clear. Yeah, I love my dogs.
Oh yeah, very good point. Yeah, this
Like
is not anything comment on that. Yeah.
This is not a comment on how much I love my dogs.
Oh my God! Don't even say the words. The minute you say those words, they ping it. You have to bleep it
I
out.
love our dogs, but there are 3 of them, and it's a lot of energy. And I think it's a lot of energy, and so I know for myself what I need is I need a little bit less,
He's gonna growl at you.
a little less excitement, you know, and a little
Peace and
quiet,
quiet.
quiet. I
And they're
just need
not
more
peace and
quiet in my
quiet
life right
dogs.
now, and they're not that.
They're not peace and quiet
Yeah.
dogs. That is true.
And yeah, do I get frustrated when the floors are clean and they walk across with mud? Yes. Why? Because I'm not always the person who has to clean it. Like that. If it would be different if you're like, oh, just let the dogs go in and out, because that's the thing.
Oh
Just let them
God,
go in
yes.
and out. Just don't stop closing the door. Just let them have whatever they want. Fine. Then they come in and there's paws all over the floor.
Now, not all the time, folks.
But
Only
who?
now and then when
But
it's
she doesn't
raining.
see it. She never sees it.
Actually, never. You can't say, because very often I have a towel and I wipe those paws up in the kitchen. Very often. See, here's
Not
the
very
problem.
often.
So here's the thing:
It's not
never
very often.
use never
Okay.
when you're talking to your partner.
Very frequently, she does not.
We have
see
learned
it.
that actually, never
Yep,
use never,
That's true.
because it's never never,
Yeah.
and it
But
just
it's
reminds you, it forgets to let you appreciate those things that they do
yeah.
that are pretty cool.
The occasional things.
So it's not okay. There you go. Got to throw that in. I
true.
love it.
It's true.
But yeah, so it's 9 times out of 10 they don't drag the paws in.
Yeah.
But when it's raining, they do the paws.
Yeah.
And
all
I
my
won't. I
all my
will not
furniture.
mop the floors like 6 times a day. It's just
Right.
not going to happen. And
You
that's
won't even
really the
mop it
only way.
once a day.
But even if I did, here's the thing. Here is the thing on that. If I mopped it once a day, and they came in right after it, and you saw it, it'd still be as if I didn't mop. So why not wait till they're all done, and then mop once at the end of the day,
You could do that.
and
If
then
you
it's
want to mop
clean.
at the
It's
end of the
never
day.
dirty at the end of the day. You've already mopped it. We're back to that same thing again,
Just can't do it.
because you start first thing.
Just can't do it.
I love it.
Just can't.
It always comes back to cleaning.
It does. I don't know. Maybe I do have a little OCD. It's not something that's diagnosed, but I just like things orderly.
Oh, it's interesting. To be fair, I do too, and I just don't keep them that orderly. Like we've been through the conversation about batching, but I love coming downstairs and everything's ready to go.
Yeah.
Like it's cleaned up from the last night, and I never did that or
Yeah.
do that. So that's really cool. I totally appreciate it.
I know.
You're maybe OCD, maybe
Yeah.
not, but it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous in this house.
Yeah, it is.
So last week we were talking about when we decided. Actually, no, we're not. Last week we were talking about the actual birth
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
World Cup. Last week we were talking about the World Cup, during
Ah,
which you happen to have a baby.
right.
But
That sounds
we,
about.
Who won that one?
I swear it was
I think it was
Germany, but
Germany.
somebody told me when they
Was it not?
looked at the 98 World Cup final that was not Germany, but it might have been the semifinal and not the final.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
France.
Francis is looking it up. France won the final. What was the date of the final game in 1998?
July 12th.
That was her
That's
birthday.
it. That was it then. France beat Germany, right?
It looks like France beat Brazil.
Brazil.
I don't know why in
Why do
my
we
head
have
it was
Germany.
Germany.
in your head?
No idea.
Doesn't matter. It was soccer. That was the only thing that was keeping
And it was
your
a big
attention.
game. Big game,
Don't
big
even.
game. But anyway, we get a lot of questions about, well, people kind of cock their heads. You've been together 33 years and you
Yeah.
have a child.
Yeah.
And we had a child back
She's 26. We had her at like
98.
yeah,
So it was a
yeah.
different time, a little bit.
A lot different time.
Yeah, and we went through a few things because of that. So we had to decide artificial, or we had a friend who was willing to donate.
Yeah, we had a couple friends who had offered.
Yeah. And that was an interesting conversation because we basically decided for them, really, I think.
I think for us too.
Well, yeah,
honestly.
but I mean, what I said was there is no way that even though they all, we're going to do this, donate, and then say, hey, this is your child, you raise it, blah, blah, blah. I cannot imagine that you could donate sperm and not be interested in the life and outcome of this thing in a way that is parental-ish.
that is more than just a passing friend.
And I wouldn't want to put any of them through, disagreements
didn't.
about how to raise or whatever. So we decided pretty early
to go to the UPenn. UPenn, we went to, so we had a fertility doctor at the University of Pennsylvania who was willing to do the AI, the artificial insemination.
Yeah, wrong AI.
whole different,
Different
thing,
AI.
a whole
Yeah.
different thing now.
Alien
Um,
invasion.
and we used the sperm bank at the University of Pennsylvania.
And how did that work?
Uh,
Like, what did we? How did you?
yeah,
What
I
were
think
the
it
steps?
was it was funny because we were at that we had a lot of different options, right? So we could have, and we looked at like public banks where you
Mhm.
could actually pay, and you get to like go through the book and see the people and choose what you want, and then they ship
Crazy.
it to you. And um,
Like,
but
nah.
that felt a little.
Yeah.
So when we met with the doctor, I think the only thing I said, he said we do 2 or 3 generations worth of genetic testing
Mhm.
just to make sure that there's
And they
nothing
tested you to make sure there
crazy.
was no,
And
conflict.
I just said, can we just find somebody who like where the coloring would be similar so that there's a pretty decent chance that this child would at least look like her mom, because
Mhm.
she's not gonna have the father figure
Mhm.
in the picture. Um, and so that's what he did. I mean, that's what he did. And at Penn, gratefully, obviously their sperm bank is all, Penn doctors and lawyer
Mhm.
students and smart people. So,
Mhm.
call it what it is. But I definitely wanted to give her like a leg up on all the good genes. So we did, and number 137
Mhm.
was the answer for us.
Yeah. And it was, and we actually, interestingly enough, and thankfully, because we ended up with Lindsay, is the first time did not take.
Right.
But we were warned about that. So it
Right.
wasn't like we were major disappointed or whatever. It was disappointing, but it wasn't like,
It
oh
wasn't
my God, this
life-shattering.
is never going to
I
work.
will tell you though, do you remember we were, was when we started this process, we got online, the early days of online, right?
Hmm.
And we're looking at message boards with all of these women who are trying to get pregnant and who
Mistake.
like and who are on every type of fertility drug, and they're miserable, and everything was horrible.
Hmm.
Everything was horrible. They've been trying, people were trying for
We just
years and
decided
years,
it
and
wasn't
we
going
were
to be
like,
horrible.
we were so
Well, I
fortunate.
did, I
So
guess.
we tried the first time, and we kind of made a
Mhm.
special event out of
Yep.
that day.
Went to dinner that
Went to
night.
dinner that night. It was really lovely, but it
Second
did not
time,
take. The second time, when
I
I
had a
realized
meeting.
I was ovulating, Pam was like at a meeting. I'm like, Pam, I'm
I was
ovulating.
away. I was
You were
like
not here.
I was up in Pennsylvania when we were still working in Delaware, or living in Delaware, is what that was, or Chester, whatever.
No, no, no. We weren't living there. We were still living in Pennsylvania, but you were away. You were actually away,
I was actually in New Hope, or actually Lambertville, at an
and
event.
you just said, just go.
Hmm.
So I just went by myself. So no, like lovely,
Hmm.
fluffy, romantic
Yep.
thing. And I got there, and he said, "Where's your other half?" I'm like, "At work." Okay. We did the
The thing.
whole thing, and he said, "Do you want me to?"
Stay with
Do you want
you.
me to stay with you? And I said, that would be really nice. He said, well, you can get up. And I'm like, can we just give those little guys a little bit more time to kind of like get where they need to go? He's like, they go really fast. I'm like, I know, just like 5 minutes, just 5 minutes would just make me feel really, really good. And second time was a charm.
Yeah, it was. And
Second time was a
and that's
charm.
kind of, so that's how it went. And it was a different thing to do at that time. Many people were doing this. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't brand new, clearly, but at that point, and we'll talk about this maybe at a later date. There were some legal issues we had to wrestle with
Yeah.
because the same-sex couples weren't recognized, and certainly adopting a same-sex couple baby was a little tricky at that time. So maybe
Right.
we save that for another show and talk
Yeah.
about what we did to get
Yeah.
that all to work out, and
Yeah.
some of the weird things that had to happen
Yeah. I
in
think
order for us
I
to do
mean,
that
we were very, very fortunate. I think we were very
oh,
fortunate
where we
in
lived,
every aspect
where
of
we
it.
lived, where we went to church,
the
work.
the medical community that we were
Yep.
with, it
Hmm.
was just
It was perfect.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really, really grateful for that. And I think we were like 98, 2000. That's just on the verge of when, like, people were like, "Oh, this is kind of normal," and like we've never been flag waiver people.
No.
We just kind of live our lives, and then what would happen is people would go figure out, like, "Oh, oh,"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then it was a non-issue because we already knew them and we weren't, kind of flag. And I'm not. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
People who really do make loud noise about it, we need that.
Yep.
But that was never us, and we got really lucky with the support system that emerged from
We had,
us just being us. I
yeah,
think we changed as many minds and hearts as a flag waver would. We just did it differently.
yeah, yeah.
So
It
yeah.
was good. It was a fun time. It was a
Mhm.
fun time.
Yeah.
I loved being pregnant. I loved everything about being pregnant.
Except mint.
Didn't love mint. Yeah, that's right.
Isn't that
I had
weird?
a aversion to mint. We had to go to like cinnamon toothpaste because I
Mhm.
couldn't taste. I
Bubblegum
couldn't
toothpaste.
take
And
the
then
mint toothpaste. And then Lindsay ended up not liking mint.
not an
Yeah,
allergy. She just doesn't like mint still to this day.
she'll eat a little more now, but she doesn't eat much now.
Doesn't love it.
Yeah,
She had odd toothpaste the whole time too.
it was a terrible aversion
Yeah.
to mint.
And I've had a couple of people say, "Oh God, yeah, that happened to me too."
Really, with mint?
Yeah, I'm like, really?
Is
That's
there
just
anything that you liked a lot that Lindsay really liked when you were pregnant? No.
No, I really didn't have any craving. I didn't have any cravings.
nope.
I can't even tell you. It was good being pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was pregnant in the dead heat of
Hello.
summer, it was good being
Well,
pregnant.
hello there.
Did you
Hi,
guys have
girly.
any? Have you ever seen the Modern Family episode Aunt Mommy?
No.
So Mitch, Cam.
Well, I'm sure we've
and-
seen it. I just don't remember the
yeah,
name.
Mitch, Cam, Phil, and Claire go to a restaurant and they get like shit faced, and Mitch and Cam are trying to have a baby, and Claire agrees to be the
The
surrogate
donor?
mom, like yeah, because they
Or
wanted
the
both,
surrogate, rather. Yeah,
like,
flip
both,
side.
They wanted both like
Oh,
inmates
okay,
in the
yep.
thing.
Uh-huh.
And then the whole episode is about them waking up, remembering what they agreed to the night
Oh.
before, and being like, "Oh shit!"
Oh no! Oh no!
And that's why it's titled Aunt Mommy, because she would have
Be an aunt and a
She would have
mom.
been
Oh, that's
both.
funny.
Yeah, no.
That's funny. How was your walk, girlfriend? Was that a good one?
It was good.
Was that a good one? You're so cute. I can't stand it. Oh, look at you looking right at the camera. You really are. I'm going to have to get a still shot of that.
I got it right there.
I love it. All right, well, we're going to wrap for today. I think that's enough
think it's
adventure
good.
for one day.
Yeah, it's enough of a peak.
Hopefully, Deb lays low, and we have another fun episode coming
Lay
at
low
you next
for
week.
a week or two
Mm-hmm.
before the excitement starts again.
There you go. That's exactly right. That's right, because I'm going to be traveling next week.
And I'm going to be starting a new job.
So do me a favor, like, subscribe if you're interested in seeing the continued madness that goes on in this house. And we will see you next week.